So what's up people and welcome to the chapter 75 discussion of Kaiju 8号 or Kaiju number 8. So chapter 75 came out about 10 days ago, and as always I will leave a link to this chapter that's currently being shown on the publisher's official website, Manga Plus, for free to the North American audience. So if you're interested, go take a look at it before they pull this chapter back. Okay, so chapter 75 continues on this post-training situation. And although it really didn't move the plot forward too much, it continues to show how the JDF has changed after the training. Now, if you recall in chapter 74, that chapter was about Hoshina and monster number 10 and their very interesting relationship that we see during that chapter, and of course the strength that they have when they do decide to work together. And chapter 75 continues with that, and yes, as we continue to read this chapter, we definitely get a lot of Venom type vibes because monster number 10 is definitely becoming that chaotic partner for Hoshina that becomes somewhat a comedy trope. And if you recall in chapter 74, Hoshina finished the monster horde. And what we find out in chapter 75 is, monster number 10 is now suggesting that they go kill all of the members of the JDF. And as you can imagine, that creates a very colorful conversation between Hoshina and monster number 10 that very much reminds you of Venom. And it works there in the movie for Venom, and it works here for monster number 10 and Hoshina as well. So, this turns out to be a very interesting and humorous conversation. Now, what's very interesting is, despite the fact that they were able to destroy the monster horde while working together, their synchronization was not all that good in chapter 74. And so Hoshina isn't utilizing the battlesuit to anything close to its maximum efficiency. And what we find out is through the analysis that Headquarters is making, that if Hoshina is able to utilize the majority of the battlesuit, he will become a major force to reckon with. Now, considering that there is a tremendous amount of humor and dysfunctional relationship between monster number 10 and Hoshina, it's probably going to take a little bit of time and we get to enjoy the humor that goes on between there. But of course, this chapter here does foreshadow that they will eventually get to that level, most likely in a clutch moment. And when it does, Hoshina would become much more powerful than we see even here. Now, this, of course, closes out the Hoshina monster number 10 story for this particular arc. And we move on to another region in Tokyo, which is the Oizumi area. And there's a couple of divisions that are out there to fight the monster horde. But unlike the previous battles that we saw with Hoshina or with Kikoru Shinomiya, the monsters in Oizumi turn out to be extremely large. So although this may not be as key an area as, for example, the district where that Japanese government was, it does turn out to be a potentially difficult area to secure. And we find out that the JDF is having a difficult time because of the sheer size of these monsters. Now, it turns out that this is the area where Kafka is. And Kafka suggests that he should turn into monster number 8 to take care of them. So maybe there's a chance to see Kafka after his training. But what we find out from his commander is that she does not want him to come into the battle because from the analysis of the previous battles he's had with monster number 9, whenever he changes to monster number 8, monster number 9 finds out about it and comes in to create major problems. And so she does not want him to become a trigger to bring in monster number 9. Rather, she would want Kafka to be a trump card in case monster number 9 did come in to cause trouble. And so she tells Kafka to stand down. But the problem with that is, of course, then these monsters remain at large and they create a tremendous amount of problems. And that's when we see a voice say that she will take care of it. And she means Commander Mina. And here's an interesting thing with regards to this. What we do see is that she does take care of it, considering that she is halfway across the city and shouldn't be able to even reach these monsters. She blasts them completely. And we find out why, because she has also received a power-up in the form of a much, much bigger gun than she has been using up till now. It's basically a rail gun that's built right on top of the JDF building. And so we do see a power up for Mina as well. But the thing with regards to this power up that I have a little bit of a concern with is the form of power creep. Now, power creep is a definition that comes from a situation that you often see in computer games, especially MMO type games where the game continues on forever almost. And in that situation, because the gaming company has to continuously satisfy the constantly increasing demand from the customers because the previous battles became boring, they would increase the power of the enemies. But by increasing the power, it will become very difficult to fight. And so to take care of that, they would increase the power of the weapons. And so you just continuously get this randomly increasing powerful enemies and increasing powerful weapons, so that just keeps on creeping upwards and upwards and upwards. And of course, the legendary weapons that you had in the past don't do anything to the modern monsters, and so you just get this random, constantly increasing power just for the sake of increasing power. And this is the one part of the post-training arc that gave me power creep vibes. Because in the case of the other characters, we saw the training and the barriers that they had to overcome, such as Shinomiya's backstory about her parents, Hoshina's relationship with Monster Number 10, and of course, Leno's sheer desire to be a perfectionist that potentially can cause problems. But in the case of Mina, she just keeps on getting more powerful. And the way she gets more powerful is not because of her training skills becoming stronger, but basically because she gets bigger and bigger guns as we go along. And I don't think it's that much of a problem because I don't think Matsumoto Naoya is going to continue to do this forever. But it is a little bit concerning, and it does make Mina the least interesting character out there. There really is no character development. She just gets bigger and bigger guns, and because of that, she gets stronger and blows away bigger and bigger monsters. What I'm hoping for is that eventually there will be this relationship story that will come between Kafka and Mina, and we will get a much more deeper understanding of who this character is and what her challenges will be in the future. But right now, she is caught in power creep. And because of that, I find chapter 75 to be a little bit okay. It's not the best chapter in this arc, and her power up to be the least interesting. Now, we haven't seen Kafka yet, and that's most likely because we haven't seen Monster Number 9 yet. All of this has been going on really, really well. It's almost like it's going too easily, and whenever Matsumoto Naoya writes a story like that, there's usually a twist somewhere along the way. And I would think that that will come when Monster Number 9 finally appears. I don't know what he will do, but things are going too well, and that's usually a foreshadowing of the calm before the storm. And that will probably create a situation where Kafka, finally after his post-training situation, will get a chance to show how much he has powered up. Now, I don't know if he'll be able to defeat Monster Number 9 because Monster Number 9 is starting to become like this long-time arch enemy. But at least it'll be interesting to see what sort of battle Kafka will do, because his battle will most likely be the climax of the story. But in any case, this is the Chapter 75 discussion for Monster Number 8 or Kaiju Number 8. If you read it, what'd you think of it? Did you feel the power-up for Mina was a little bit too easy? If you can leave your comments in the comments section, I would greatly appreciate it. And until the next episode, happy manga reading, and as always, Jaya, nice day, everyone.